If you've seen some of my videos, you know that as I go about my studies, I like to pay homage to mathematicians I'm interested in, to walk in their footsteps, and to share those adventures with you. My last trip to London had me on the path of Charles Babbage, Byron Lovelace, and Mary Somerville. I'd been aware of the Babbage-Lovelace connection as long as I can remember, but it's only in more recent years that I became aware of the Somerville connection here as well, a connection that further piqued my interest. All three of these mathematicians are from the 19th century, and it's rather rare to be considering two women in such a context. I'll just quickly share part of Ada's situation before moving into travel images. Byron Lovelace is the daughter of the famous poet Lord Byron. Amazing poet though he was also the quintessential bad boy of the 1800s, and Ada's parents separated when Ada was about a month old. Considering Lord Byron to be insane, Ada's mother wanted Ada to be educated in science and mathematics in order to keep her mind balanced, unlike that of her poet father. Lady Byron reached out to family friend Mary Somerville, asking her to tutor Ada in science and mathematics. Here is a letter to Mary from Lady Byron on the matter. Beginning on the third line, we read, "Under the protection of you who would assist her in keeping her balance of mind, the pursuits of science have certainly been very beneficial to her in that respect." Despite the 35-year age difference, Ada and Mary developed a friendship, Ada often asking Mary to act as chaperone for her to Babbage's home for evening gatherings demonstrating his calculating devices. Here is a letter to Mary in Ada's hand. "My dear Mrs. Somerville, if you are going to Babbage's tonight, will you do me so great a favor as to call on me at 10 Wimpole Street?" So with that background established, here is the tale of my London journey. I began at Babbage's house at 1 Dorset Street. As happens in the course of 150 years, things have changed and modernized. But as I curved to the right onto Manchester Street, I found residences more reminiscent of Babbage's time here. From Dorset Street, I headed south toward Mary Somerville's neighborhood of Hanover Square. I don't have a street address for Mary, so I did my best to get a sense of Hanover Square generally and to focus in on some of the older structures and features. Number 16 seemed to be most reflective of the era, but again, no idea which home was actually hers, just me trying to get a sense of time and place. Since I didn't know what location to focus on, I took video of the entirety of Hanover Square. The church steeple you'll see coming into view soon would have been here in her time. It's of St. George's Church, which was built in the 1720s. From here it was on to St. James's Square and the home of Ada Byron Lovelace. Hers is the White House, just left of center across the square. You can see the blue plaque that honors her just behind the railing to the left of the door. Ada's house in St. James's Square is quite near the Royal Palace of St. James, as you might expect in the case of the daughter of a baron and the wife of an earl. Since I was so close, and since I can tend to be easily distracted by palaces, I decided to walk a couple more blocks and take a look. Okay, back to my mathematical path. If you've got a keen eye for detail, you may have noticed a bit of a mismatch. The day I decided to take this journey, I went to the Blue Plaque's website to find Ada's home, not remembering I already had her address from correspondence of hers that I'd read years earlier. The Blue Plaque site sent me to St. James's Square, and it's true that she did live here, and I'm glad I stopped by. However, she wasn't living at this location during the time frame I was interested in, the time when Mary Somerville was her tutor and was chaperoning her to meetings at Babbage's home. At that time, she was living at 10 Wimpole Street, as shown on the bottom right of the letter. Unfortunately, I didn't catch this until I had returned home from my travels. For reasons unknown to me, I did take a picture of the street sign from Wimpole Street as I was on my little walkabout, though no pictures of individual buildings. I guess I'll just have to go back someday. As it turns out, 10 Wimpole Street is between the homes of Babbage and Somerville, which would have made it very convenient for Mary to have picked up Ada on the way. So if you're in London and fancy a mathematical wander, this is a short and easy one. The distance from Hanover Square to Dorset Street is less than a mile. Before winding up the video, I'll throw in a couple of other related items in case you're in London and looking for a bit more relating to this topic. Babbage is the only one of the three who is buried here in London. His grave can be found in Kensal Green, a Victorian Gothic cemetery, one of London's Magnificent Seven. As with finding houses, with finding graves, it's important to pay attention to detail. You can't just wander into a cemetery and hope to find what you're looking for. Most large cemeteries have maps inside the entry, but some are definitely more helpful than others. The website Find a Grave is particularly helpful. If you're looking for something a little more vibrant, the London Science Museum has wonderful displays relating to mathematics and early computing, including a full-scale difference engine built in the 1980s to Babbage's designs. And on a somewhat smaller scale, there are parts of the analytic engine that were built by Babbage himself. These can be found in or near the Winton Gallery of Mathematics inside the Science Museum. As I go about my studies, I always find myself wanting to get out and about to pay homage to those who have gone before, those who, through their curiosity and indomitable spirits, helped to pave the path to the knowledge and technologies we have today. Thanks for joining me.